Episode 50, Live Your More. Welcome to Longing for More, where professionals haunted by the knowing that they were created for more come to strengthen their faith and find the path to stop wasting time in boredom or overwhelm and instead live a life of fulfillment and peace. Well, today's a big day. We are celebrating the 50th episode of this podcast and the first recording under the new name, Longing for More. To honor this event, I've created a special gift that I'll be offering listeners at the end of the show. I'm so glad that you are here to celebrate this big day with us. So let's get started. If you are haunted by the knowing that you were created for more, you know what it feels like to feel adrift, to feel that there must be more to life. You feel like you have the bits and pieces of the answer, but you can't really seem to fit them all together, and none of it really makes any sense. We all want a great life. We want to know that we are contributing to something important and that we make a difference. But instead, if we don't have all the pieces, we drift from day to day, either bored or overwhelmed, hoping that something will change and life will get better. A few weeks ago, I talked about a birthday party that I was planning to attend. And I got to go, fortunately, and it was everything I hoped it would be. It was full of laughter and love and the joy of celebrating a life well lived. My cousins went all out to make sure that it was an event that no one, much less the honoree, their mother, would soon forget. One of the things I particularly noticed was how much the children enjoyed the balloons. Now, there were some there that were just simply blown up without any helium in them. And these balloons were somewhat listless, and they only came to life when a child was playing with them. While the helium-filled balloons were stretching to reach the ceiling at all times, the kids had a blast reaching for them and batting at them and chasing them around the room. It dawned on me that our lives are much like these balloons. Sometimes life looks more like a balloon filled with regular air. Our lives are full, but life doesn't always have a lot of meaning, and it really isn't going anywhere because there's little or no inspiration. It doesn't have any helium, so it just drifts around the floor aimlessly, often hiding in a corner or under a table. On occasion, someone will pull it out and we'll have a really good time with it, battling around and dragging it across the room, but soon that balloon is forgotten again and it's just drifting around the floor again without purpose. Other balloons, the ones full of helium, are like us when we're really inspired. We are so excited about life, and it's like nothing can hold us back. Something has us so motivated that we float high in the sky, and we know we have found our thing, whatever that thing is for each of us. But somehow, something is still missing. We drift from one amazing thing to the next, but never with a purpose. And like a balloon filled with helium that hasn't been tethered to anything, we sometimes get lost in the clouds. Life is breathtakingly beautiful up there, but we know if we lose our grip for even a second, it will float far, far away. To really have it all, we need to be inspired, like the balloons with helium, but we also need to be grounded, don't we? We need to know who we are, what we value, and what we are called to do before we get the full inspiration, or we, like that balloon full of helium, will just drift away. Once we are grounded and full of inspiration, we are that perfectly balanced balloon that is floating high, enjoying life, but with a purpose and with a direction. When He created you, God had a plan for your life. He had big dreams for how you would live out your days, and He had a specific purpose that only you can fulfill. He's been leading you there your entire life and giving you clues along the way. Not only that, but the experiences you've had, both the good and the bad, have been preparing you for that calling. The problem is, we don't really realize that those are clues that we're getting in their life. In fact, sometimes they feel like distractions. Other times, those experiences are too painful to remember, so we push them way down deep inside of us and pretend they aren't there. And we continue to drift aimlessly. We begin to believe that we aren't good enough to do anything important, or we couldn't possibly be the one to lead that group or take that position. All those good things in life must be meant for someone else. So we bury the dreams that He laid in our heart. We fill that deep longing in our soul with stuff. We buy more clothes. We bury ourselves in our busy work. Or we binge watch whatever the current must-see TV is. And we hope it will get better. In fact, we even pray to God that He will fix it for us. But the reality of it is, if you want to have a better life, you have to change your life, or at least the way you look at life. I know, it sounds like work, doesn't it? Wouldn't it be easier to just simply keep doing what we're doing? Yes. Yes, it would. But then, you'd never find out what that amazing life is that God had planned for you would look like. I find that way too many people are doing just that. They're staying with the status quo rather than reaching for more because it looks too hard. I don't know about you, but that makes me sad. And that is why I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone to help you figure out what your soul is longing for and to help you have the courage to step outside of your comfort zone. There are 3 main points to consider when you are ready to step into the life you were created for and to begin living your more. They are, 1, you need to get really grounded in who you are, what you believe in, and what you value. This can be challenging because, let's face it, we like a lot of things, and often the things we like are in direct conflict with the things we value. It's times like that when we have to make choices. Do I really want that piece of cake, or do I value being healthy and avoiding sugar more? Do I really want to get that project done, or would I rather scroll through social media every night instead? Or, let's take it even a step deeper. Do I really want to follow Jesus, or would I rather play it cool and believe without really making any changes in my lifestyle? Sorry if that hit a chord, but I've been there, and I know how empty it feels. Every choice we make matters, and when we add them all up, each tiny decision can have a significant impact on one of the big 5 areas of our life. We can't ignore any one of those big 5 areas for very long, or we end up out of balance and, like that balloon without any helium or inspiration, we just float around on the ground with very little joy in our life. Eventually we get sick, lose relationships, find ourselves bored, or run ourselves ragged. I'm pretty sure none of those options are what God had in mind for our lives. The second main point to consider is that we have to let go of the things that no longer serve us. Some of them are the lies we've been told about ourselves. For a variety of reasons, many of us have fallen into the habit of either believing that we have no value and cannot possibly have anything to offer the world, or, on the reverse, we've become so full of ourselves that we can almost be impossible to live with. Somewhere in there is a balance with a healthy self-esteem where we don't think too little of ourselves, nor do we overestimate ourselves. As Christians, the key is to know the basis of our self-worth, to know that apart from Christ, our life has very little eternal value, and on the reverse, in Him, we are very capable and worthy of valuable service. Letting go of measuring ourselves by the world's standards is a huge step in the right direction and is key to having a truly meaningful life. And being grounded and inspired are crucial to this process, as are ensuring that we are taking care of all the facets of our lives. The third step is to find out what really inspires you and then believe that to have the life you really want, you have the power to make it happen. Way too often we get inspired, but we don't take the necessary steps to get really solid on the thing we want, and we soon either forget about that dream or we stop believing in the possibilities. And that is where a good coach can help you get really clear on what you want and then hold that space for you until you can believe in yourself. It's extremely important that this person allow you the flexibility to do it your way and then provide the encouragement and support to help you live the life you really want, not the way they did it. This is key to making a change without the hassle, struggle, doubt, or fear. The challenge is finding your more, discovering what really inspires you to be your best self. You see, my more isn't the same as yours. Through a lot of trial and error, I found that mine is creating my own business and becoming a life transformation coach. I loved working in the affordable housing industry when I was there, but God knew that there were aspects in my life that were not being fulfilled there. So He started dropping hints along the path, and each one brought me a step closer to my more. With 30 years of professional career, Bible studies, and informal coaching of my team behind me, I already had a strong basis for life coaching. But my health challenges led me to the health coaching world to help complete that wellness and the relationship realms of my education. And through my mastery coursework, I began to fully understand the relationships between the environments that we're raised in and the impact that they have on what we believe about ourselves. Although I know I will continue to grow in these areas of life, I have the perfect combination of skills, experiences, and training to lead you to live your more. As I mentioned earlier, if any one of the big 5 aspects of life are not being nourished, it's like releasing the helium from our balloon. It will go flat, and our life won't be as fulfilling as it should be. That is why I'm offering for the month of May a free The First Step session to help you discover where your life needs some grounding or some inspiration so you can get pointed in the right direction to finding your more. Sound tempting? It will take about a half an hour and promises to be time very well spent. You can schedule that appointment at https://VanaJohnsonCoaching.as.me/the first step. I know, that's a long handle. I'll put it in the comment section so you can just click on the link. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. I know how valuable your time is, and I appreciate your spending a few minutes with me. If you know someone who might be encouraged by this message, I ask that you please share it with them. It could make all the difference. Otherwise, be sure to schedule your The First Step session to see where you need some nourishment, and be sure to stop back next week for more Longing for More. So go, have a great week, and live your more.